Hi again, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Horse Race Bets with me, Ken Rudulph, as we dig into the news, notes, and rumors, gossips, and all the developments taking place in the wonderful world of horse racing. We have just over, let's say, 83 days, I think, until Kentucky Derby number 151, and we had a Kentucky Derby prep race over the weekend. So now we have the simple question of now we have to assess, right? What happened in that race with those horses, and how does it affect your list? So the question today is, you got Derby horses? Do you wait and see if they didn't perform the way you wanted? Or do you chuck them out? Get rid of them. Deal with you later. That's probably what we're going to do this week as we unveil our brand new Kentucky Derby top 5 for me. And our situation is simply this. We had a horse named Treaty of Rome who ran in the Sam F. Davis over the weekend, and he was horrible. I have no idea what's wrong with that horse. It's a Chad Brown trained horse. Dylan Davis was riding and just stunk up the place. So Treaty of Rome, you're out, bruh. I got to move on. So now that number 5 spot is wide open. Take a look at our top 4 as we're waiting to fill in that 5th spot. Citizen Bull still stays in number 1 spot. Barnes also stays in the top 2. Those are runners for Hall of Famer Bob Baffert. Burnham Square for Ian Wilkes made a beautiful move in the Holy Bull. Now we'll see if he's ready to improve upon that coming up in the Fountain of Youth in a couple of weeks. Built is our other runner, and now we get a chance to see if this horse is continuing to progress, right? Making his way on through the list, or if he's the kind of horse that's not going to be able to cut it. And we'll have that major challenge coming up this week, because now, we kick things up a notch. Mandelbaum. These races now, 50 points available for the Kentucky Derby to the winner of the greatest stakes coming your way in the Grade 2 Risen Star. That 50 points for the winner is important, because if you win this race, it's kind of like a win and you are in. Last year, you needed maybe 45, 46 points to get into the gate. That's what Mystic Dan had, who eventually won the Kentucky Derby. He got in with 46 points. So winning this race pretty much guarantees you a spot in the gate on that first Saturday in May. Now, it's a nice distance, right? Nice size field. And here's kind of how we see this race. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this Grade 2 Risen Star at 1 1/8 miles on Saturday at the Fairgrounds. It is the 14th and final race on what's an absolutely outstanding card of racing coming up on Saturday from the Big Easy. All right, you got to start with the pace in the race. And in this race, you've got 13 horses entered, and Vassimo is a runner that is the son of Nyquist, and it's trained by Hall of Famer Todd Pletcher and ridden by Irad Ortiz Jr. This horse has speed, and it has Irad. I can almost guarantee you this horse will control the pace. The only other horse that might want to go with, there are 2 other runners that might want to challenge. American Promise will be to the inside for Hall of Famer D. Wayne Lucas. That's the son of Kentucky Derby winner Justified. So you have the offspring of Derby winners in here. And the only other horse that I could probably think that might show speed might be East Avenue. And East Avenue might end up being your favorite in this race. But I still think Vassimo is going to be aggressive and go to the lead. So then you determine the pace, and there might be some challengers. Now we go to class. Jonathan's Way is a runner that has already proven he can sit off the pace and make a nice move. He did that in the Kentucky Jockey Club at the age of 2. That was at the end of November in 2024. Horse has not run since, but has the ability to sit and then run past horses. We'll see if he can do that after being a pretty big disappointment in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile back in the beginning of November of last year. So I don't think Jonathan's Way is ready. But they'll be moving in the stretch. I do feel like the horse that was beaten last time out as a nice betting choice, I think is going to be perfect here. That is the horse Built. And Built is number 4 on my Kentucky Derby list, so you know I want to see Built run well. Wayne Catalano has this 3-year-old son of Hard Spun, I think, in the right spot. Now, 3rd off the layoff. So they've kind of been going. They ran into December, came back less than 30 days later and ran toward the end of January, running just 2nd in the Grade 3 LeCompte, going 1.16 miles on a sloppy track at the Fairgrounds. Disco Time swung out about 10 wide and won that race. but I still think Built is the better horse for this distance. And so now they make a jockey change. Luis Saez will be in the irons. Oh my goodness, this rider, I still remember when I decided that Luis Saez was for real, I went against him as he was riding Maximum Security in the Kentucky Derby that Country House won via disqualification. And I remember liking Luis Saez, but not liking Maximum Security. But then after that race, I started watching Luis Saez, and man, he is really, really good and really tough in the stretch. I'm going to go with that. I think Built is going to be in the perfect spot with Luis Saez, and I think they're going to be able to get the money and stay on my top 5 list for Kentucky Derby runners. And I think when they get these points, that'll solidify their spot in the gate for the Kentucky Derby, and they can start thinking about what they're going to do next to get ready for that challenge. All right, so that's one of the races coming up. That's going to be on Saturday. And it's a really big race because the runners that come from that Fairgrounds, Louisiana circuit do really well. In fact, 5 runners from the Risen Star last year ended up in the gate for the Kentucky Derby on that first Saturday in May. So it's a very, very productive race, mainly because of that distance and that long stretch at the Fairgrounds. Horses really got to get it going if they want to bring the money home there. All right, and then from that particular situation, we're going to move on over because we've got ourselves another Kentucky Derby prep race coming your way. This one not quite as valuable, doesn't have as much cachet, right? Doesn't have as much reputation. It's one of those races where a lot of Southern California trainers, mainly a guy named Bob Baffert and also Doug O'Neill, they're trying to ship in there, sneak through there, and steal the money. We're talking about going to New Mexico and seeing what's happening there with Sunland Park. They have the Sunland Park Derby. 20 points here for the winner. Nice purse of $400,000. Good size field of runners here. And I think this race, even more wide open than what I believe the Risen Star will be. So this race will take place on Sunday. It's at Sunland Park. It'll be race number 9 on the card. It's a mile and a 16th, and as I mentioned, 20 Derby points to the winner for this particular race. I feel like there's a lot of speed in the race. And so what's going to happen here is Getaway Car is the runner for Bob Baffert that is shipping in. He probably wants to sit just off the pace, but I wouldn't be surprised if they'll try to steal away on the front end here and just outclass the field. And if they do that, that's going to be a problem. There's too much quote-unquote cheap speed, gate speed in this race. So Getaway Car is going to have to learn how to settle, sit back their rate, and then run past horses in the stretch. I'm not quite sure he can do that. There are a lot of horses in this race that are intriguing if they just make that next step. Touchy is a runner that I think on the stretch out could be really intriguing. He's a closing sprinter, but he's also the son of a Kentucky Derby winner, Nyquist. So he's a closing sprinter who's stretching out. And if he can handle the distance, he could be really, really tough. He's gone 5.5 furlongs and 6.5 furlongs in his 4-race career. Now he goes a mile and a 16th. He ships out from Turfway Park. It could be intriguing for Wesley Ward, and Joel Rosario will be riding. So that's going to be intriguing to see what kind of stretch run they get. And then a horse to the outside will be the horse that I like quite a bit. That is Caldera. This is for the Hall of Fame trainer D. Wayne Lucas. And Rafael Bejarano will be in town to ride. You know, they were able to break the maiden at Oaklawn Park last time out. It was the second time they stretched out. First time they stretched out, they kind of sat off of it and then made a move, and they ran second in a field of 7. Then Rafael Bejarano got aboard. They were going a mile and a 16th. Soft field of 7. He just quickly went to the lead and crushed that field. He will not get the lead here. He's not fast enough. But if he goes back to what he did 2 starts back, going a mile and a 16th at Oaklawn Park, I think he's going to be in the perfect spot. And I think we'll get value. So there you go. Sunland Park, our top pick there is going to be the horse Caldera, who will be to the outside for D. Wayne Lucas and Rafael Bejarano. And that is how we plan on getting the money coming up in the Sunland Park Derby. And that's how we kind of build our week, right? We know that we're moving towards a particular point. Got to get to the weekend and focus on those Derby prep races. Saturday, Risen Star at the Fairgrounds. Sunday, Sunland Park Derby at Sunland Park. And so that means we're going to kind of focus our plays this week and really going to focus in on 2 tracks. Turfway Park, because Turfway Park is so elusive And if you can get it, oh, it's so tantalizing. And I'm going to get it. Oh, I'm going to get it this week. And then normally I would say, hey, play the tracks where your features are coming up over the weekend. I got to tell you, man, Sunland Park racing is not for me. I don't understand any of it. I feel like when they turn for home, those horses are running in quicksand for some strange reason. I have no idea what's happening. So I'm only going to play the feature race on the card there Sunday. But I'll watch the action, of course, during the course of the day on Sunday. Throughout the week, focus in on Turfway Park. Then when the fairgrounds comes into the mix, you got to focus in on the fairgrounds, especially on Saturday. It's going to be an incredible card of racing on Saturday from the fairgrounds. And I'm just here to make money, to help you make money, point you in the right direction to go to the right place to make the right plays. That's what we're going to do this week. And hopefully it works out. So that's going to do it for this edition of Horse Race Bets, edition number 16, in honor of the only GOAT in the history of the NFL, Joe Montana. There's no other GOAT. Number 16 is number 1. All right. Until next time. In between time until next time, we'll see ya. I'm Ken Rudolph here on Horse Race Bets. Hey, good luck and enjoy whatever you're into this week, and let's get this money. We'll see you.